Good morning, class 12th. As you all know, we have started our chapter that is Challenges to Congress System. According to new syllabus, we are doing this chapter and we have already learned about the one party dominance that is of Congress. We have started yesterday and we were doing a topic that Nehru died in the year May 1964 and Shastri became the next Prime Minister of India. Regarding Shastri, we have done his characteristics yesterday. So far we have done that he has participated in the freedom struggle since 1930. Moreover, he was a person who was known for its simplicity, his commitment, his non-controversial nature, his responsibilities and his character. He had been the minister in the UP cabinet from the beginning. He belonged to Uttar Pradesh. He was born in Mirzapur. Anyway, he also worked as a general secretary of Congress once upon a time. Nehru, for taking many political decisions, were dependent on him. He totally believed in excellence. Shastriji also became cabinet minister in the year 1951-56 after the first general elections, but due to one railway accident, and he was at that time the railway minister, taking upon the responsibility, resigned from his position. Shastriji also gave the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. We have done this topic. We have also done this topic that when Shastri became the Prime Minister of India, at that time India was facing two major challenges. Number one challenge was, as it been seen here, that India had failed monsoon that year. The country was going through drought-like conditions in the mid-1960s. Due to failure of monsoons and drought-like conditions, there was a shortage in the production of crops. India was facing food crisis. Moreover, we also had a full-fledged war with Pakistan in the year 1965. We have discussed about this war in the previous chapter. In this war, the Pakistani military troops reached up to Amritsar, whereas the Indian forces reached up to the borders of Lahore. This was a time when there was a acute shortage of food in India, as well as war-like conditions, when Shastriji gave the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Anyways, the Prime Ministership of the Shastriji was short-lived, as the Indo-Pak War came to an end in the January 1966 when Tashkent Agreement was brokered. Brokered का मतलब होता है दो लोगों को मिलाना. Was brokered by the USSR. At that time, Tashkent was the capital of Uzbekistan. Here, the both prime ministers of India as well as Pakistan. Pakistan prime minister was Ayub Khan, whereas Indian prime minister was Shastriji. They both met at Tashkent. Peace agreement was signed. Military troops were called back. Territories subjugated were returned back to each respective countries. But this agreement now was not only a peace agreement. The dead body of Shastriji reached to the land of India. He died suddenly, as the claims say that he died due to heart attack. Now, today we will be basically concentrating on the topic what happened after Shastriji. Although I have covered my topic with you in the online class, but again I would like to discuss about this as 4-5 students were not here. Indian National Congress has lost his two senior Congress leaders in just 2 years, or we can say less than 2 years. As Nehru died in May 1964, and after 1 year 7 months, Shastri Ji also died in January 1966. So the main challenge, the main political succession challenge was faced by the Indian National Congress. Now the question was, after Shastriji who? At that time, when Shastriji was chosen as the Prime Minister, K. Kamraj played an important role. This time also he also issued K. Kamraj plan, what we used to call that, which means that senior political leaders should resign from the Congress and young leaders should be given chance to join or to uphold the senior positions in the political party. Anyways, Morarji Desai was also a senior leader of Congress. He was an aspirant for becoming the Prime Minister. He was well known for his contribution in the struggle for Indian independence. He had been the Chief Minister of Bombay. I am saying Bombay because at that time Bombay constitutes of Maharashtra as well as Gujarat. He had also been the Home Minister of India. He has also worked as a Finance Minister. He also worked as the second Deputy Prime Minister of India. And later on, he is known as that he turned out to be the fourth Prime Minister of India. Now, first was Nehru, second was Shastriji, third I haven't named. Yes, the fourth Prime Minister was Morarji Desai ji. He has to face a very strong competition with Shrimati Indira Gandhi, who at that time was a well-known political leader. She had a popularity peer factor with her. She was the daughter of late Pandit Nehru. She had been the Congress president for a couple of years. Under Shastriji's government, she had also worked as the Union Minister for Information. Ultimately, now the problem is who is going to be the Prime Minister. Senior Congress leaders supported Indira Gandhi, but whereas the supporters and himself Morarji Desai wants and aspired to become the president. Anyway, the decision was not unanimous. It was not taken by, you can say, like the Shastriji was made the Prime Minister. So the Congress leaders took a decision that they will be deciding this dispute with the help of a secret ballot system. Secret ballot is a system which we followed in the elections. Electoral politics में हम इसके बारे में पढ़ चुके हैं. So, secret ballot system to be adopted and this system to be taken place among Congress MPs. Congress अपने अंदर ही करेगी. अब ऐसे सिचुएशन में सीक्रेट बैलेट का वोटिंग सिस्टम डाला गया जिसमें मोरारजी देसाई जी डिफीट हो गए और इंदिरा गांधी जी को 2/3 मेजॉरिटी कांग्रेस लीडर्स का सपोर्ट मिल गया एंड शी वॉज चॉजन एज अ नेक्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया ड्यू टू सडन डेथ ऑफ शास्त्री जी. In our book and in Congress and in our online class, we have done this cartoon. Do you remember? I have shown you that Morarji Desai was running towards the parliament, whereas India was declared as a next prime minister. Now, anyway, when the secret ballot results came, so the transaction was peaceful. It shows the maturity of the Indian democratic system, that India is not in a mood to establish any sort of non-democratic system or a military system or a dictatorial government. Although, while becoming Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi has to face certain problems. Her first problem was that she was not too much an experience, but she has to lead the Congress. ये उनकी सबसे पहली प्रॉब्लम आ रही थी. Number 2, Morarji Desai, because due to rift, has left the Congress. For the very first time, it was felt that Congress too can fragment. Number 3, Congress leaders actually supported Indira Gandhi because they just thought that Indira Gandhi lacks administrative and political experience. She is not too capable. Ultimately, Indira Gandhi will be dependent on the senior Congress leaders for support as well as guidance. So, Indira will be in the forefront, whereas the government will be run by the senior Congress leaders. She will be becoming the puppet in their hands. Last but not least, when Indira became the Prime Minister, at that time the economic situation of our country was totally deteriorated, which added a lot to her problem. And in such a circumstances, from all sides there were difficulties. She set herself out to control the polity of the country, to control the government of the country, to demonstrate her leadership skills. In our next lections, we will be doing the 4th general elections, that is of 1967. Thank you, class.